Well, also for you, because anyone who follows you on Twitter, and you have a huge following, they'll know that you are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. And for me, as a good Irish Catholic boy, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
For me, it's the end of something glorious, so I have to pack it all in. But, you know, I'm not depressed about it. I don't want to die any more than anyone else. And I think there's this strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for. We have nothing to die for. We have nothing to die for.
You have more to live for.
We have everything to live for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine you have a more focused attention to life because you think it ends when you die.
I think it's precious. I think it's beautiful. I think the world is amazing. I love people, animals, art, every hobby. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. My nan used to say that. She lived till 83. I think it was 40 years we were going, I'm not long for this world.
What are you said the things you like. What are the things that really annoy you?
Only two things really, really make my blood boil, I suppose. I suppose in general, as I get older, injustice. Injustice quietly makes my blood boil. Either personal, social, political, you know, personal. I suppose the two main categories are religious intolerance, this arrogance that you think, you know, arguing over whose God is right. It sort of gets me down a little bit, you know, and I've got no problem with spirituality. I really haven't. You know, that's another myth. And I always try and make the difference clear between spirituality and religion. One is a very personal feeling, a journey, a hope, or whatever, a need, you know, a joy. And the other is an organised body that uses that for power and corruption in many cases. In many cases, and you know, I don't have either. But I suppose I think that when it affects me, that's when I have a say in it. And religion affects me. Religion's very real. Spirituality, it doesn't really affect me.
I find it
I really like pretty much everything that he said there. So the best part, without a doubt, was that great quote, somebody needs to meme this up right now. Atheists have nothing to die for, we have everything to live for. I could not agree more. Look, if you're non-religious and you admit that either you don't think anything happens when you die or you don't know what happens, you know what that means? You're going to live this life like this is your only life. You're going to look for meaning right here. In this world. You're not postponing meaning until you die to maybe have meaning in the afterlife. You're focused solely on this world. You know what that means? You're probably going to work really hard, find things you're passionate about, really try to live every moment and every day to the fullest. And that is exactly right. And it's so ironic that atheists and people who are non-religious, it's the exact opposite stereotype and mythology that's out there. Like, oh, you're godless, soulless, you don't care about anything, you're nihilists. Not true at all. We find almost all of our meaning on this world. In fact, by definition, we don't know where else to look. We know it's on this world. That's not to say that every atheist agrees with me and agrees with, you know, Ricky Gervais on this, but I think it's safe to say likely a majority would agree with that. Then the other point that he makes, I think, is related to that point, which is that he says injustice makes his blood boil. Look, if you are living on this world and you think that this is your only chance at being a conscious, sentient being, then guess what? You are going to get mad at injustice. You're going to get angry about it because you want to make this world as close to the idea or the perception of so-called heaven as you possibly can make it.
I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world.